Hey gamers, this is Corey Sadamo from UCC reviewing you Mass Effect Infiltrator for the iOS devices. Developed by Iron Monkey Studios, the same studio to develop Dead Space and Mirror's Edge for iOS, Mass Effect Infiltrator has you playing as Randall, a rogue Cerberus operative who discovers that the aliens he brings in are being used for some grisly experiments. Virtual sticks control Randall and the camera as he walks around, but when the action kicks off, things tighten up. Stand next to cover and he ducks into it. Now, swiping left to right, he'll automatically move from cover to cover. It's through this mechanic that you move onward. Enemies within enemy range can be tapped to target them, making Randall pop out and start firing. You then guide your shots with your right thumb, using the right side of the screen. Biotic powers are on the top part of the screen when you pull out menu. Everything is touch-based. You don't really get the freedom of a full third-person shooter, unlike Iron Monkey's previous game, Dead Space. The game employs a swipe-tap-aim mechanic that relies on you getting in and out of cover quickly and emphasizes fast action over tactical combat. There's a bit of movement with the left virtual stick, but most of the time you'll be moving from cover to cover when the fighting starts. Iron Monkey Studios has done a pretty good job at bringing the Mass Effect feel to the iOS. Everything from the sound effects, characters, enemies, and environment feels like Mass Effect. Their graphics are quite impressive and really show off the capabilities of, say, an iPhone 4S or iPad 2. The game does have its cons, though. The dialogue and voiceovers is absolutely atrocious, and is so poorly written that it's an embarrassment for the Mass Effect franchise.
Stop that. Bad AI.
Lockdown rescinded. Security restored. Have a nice day.
Better. Won't last long. She'll wake up soon. Ultra Defense Intelligence. Cerberus Project. Director's Pet AI.
Nolly, I didn't know you cared. Where's my damn teleporter already?
The game seems to be focused more on the action and combat than actually even having a story involved or even caring about any comparable voiceovers. The combat as well has some flaws. The weapons feel very limited in range. This basically forces you to use the cover system to move up and advance on the enemy. The shotgun, for example, only works in super tight, close range, and feels a little off. As well, the shoot, tap, aim gameplay mechanic where you touch between each enemy does feel a little jarring and can get a little chaotic when there's a lot of enemies on screen. Expect to have a few times being frustrated as you just try to tap on the enemy being shot at from every direction. The developers do try to break up the game by displaying a reward screen after each combat scenario. This screen rewards you on your effectiveness in combat and gives you points as well as credits for in-game purchases. Now that does sound good for a stop-and-play feel for an iOS game, but the award screen basically pops up after each combat scenario, so it really does break up the pacing, I feel. Also gone are all the choices you make in dialogue in Mass Effect. Instead, you're given a scene every once in a while where you have to choose a Renegade or Paragon decision. Mostly this involves whether or not to shoot and kill someone. Overall, this is a not bad third-person shooter for the iOS. It's just not a good Mass Effect game. There hardly is a story involved in this, and the voiceovers and dialogue is just terrible. Terrible. The graphics are stellar, and the combat is fluid, but I don't see this game having legs, as the combat does feel a little repetitive. Overall, it's a decent pick-up-and-play shooter, and I would recommend for anyone out there who is looking for a solid shooter for the iOS device. But if you're just looking for the next Mass Effect game, then I would definitely say skip this one. Mass Effect Infiltrator is available now at the App Store for a launch price of $6.99.
Offline, Randall?
Director?
Yes, she's volunteered for an accelerated testing program. Anali is aligning with our long-term goals. Cerberus